Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Now today isn't a review because I've only just got the camera. It came late yesterday afternoon. It's really an insight into why I've purchased this camera. And what I've purchased is the Sony ZV-1 Mark II that we have here. And it's a great little camera. Now I know it's a great little camera because I've always loved the Sony XV Mark 1 or ZV Mark 1, not XV, ZV Mark 1. I'm actually filming this close-up shot you're seeing here of this camera with my little ZV-1. So my original ZV-1 I'm using for virtually every single video that I do, mainly every video that I do. It's nice and compact and it's reliable. It gets the close-up shots reliably, they're always sharp, great images, great quality. So I was never going to buy the ZV-1 Mark II until I purchased the Google Pixel 8 Pro. And then that's what's prompted me to get the ZV-1 Mark II, and I'll explain why. I want to do more filming with the Google Pixel 8 Pro. I like the film quality. I'll leave a link at the end of this video to a video I've done on the Google Pixel 8 Pro, but I really do like the film quality that comes off the 8 Pro. There is one drawback with it though. It only shoots at 24 frames per second, which is a bit frustrating for me here in the UK because I set all my cameras to 25 FPS, which is what I've got my two Fuji set to, my ZV-1 and my the Pocket 3, the DJI Pocket 3, DJI Osmo Pocket 3. They're all set to 25 frames per second. So when I do my multicam, I can sync them all. Well, with the Google Pixel 8 Pro, you have to set it to 24 frames a second, which is fine on my two Fujis and my DJI camera, but not on the ZV-1. You have to go into AVC HD to film at 24 frames a second. It's not 24p, it's 24i. So it's interlaced as opposed to progressive. So it won't sync quite as well and it'd be lower resolution. So I thought that's a bit crazy. Why can't it do 24 frames per second? And the only reason I want to use the ZV-1 with the Google Pixel 8 Pro is its compact size. I want to be going out doing more stuff, but because of my hernia and my arthritis, I don't want to be carrying two or three big cameras with lenses. I want two or three really nice compact cameras. So it really motivated me then to look at what compact cameras I could get that would match the Google Pixel 8 Pro in frame rate. I came across a really good deal on Amazon for the ZV-1 Mark II. In fact, it was a stonking deal, so I went and purchased it. I'm really glad I have because it's a great photographic camera. I'm going to go through a few quick snaps I took yesterday afternoon with this camera. I'm pleasantly surprised how good this camera is. In fact, it could easily replace my Sony RX100 Mark VII. I've got the RX100 Mark VII. Again, this one here, great little video camera, does 4K, but it won't do 24p. So very annoying. Yeah, again, you have to go into XAVC HD, which is really annoying. Yeah, the RX100 Mark VII is predominantly a stills camera for me, not a video camera. But I'm enjoying using, I've only had it a very short while, but I'm enjoying the ZV-1 Mark II. And it has various other advantages over the original ZV-1. These weren't buying decisions for me. It was the 24 frames a second that prompted me to buy the ZV-1 Mark II, because this will do 24 frames per second in 4K. So, I mean, that is a great advantage for me anyway. It's got the 18mm lens as opposed to the 24mm at its widest, where the ZV-1's a 24mm lens. So that's great. I don't do vlogging, but again, here in the studio, having a wider angle lens is really helpful and great when I'm going out taking photographs. I do like a wide angle look. So having an 18mm, equivalent to 18mm wide angle, I think is fantastic for me. It's got USB-C as well on this new camera, so you've got power delivery and charging via USB-C, where on the original ZV-1 it is micro USB. I find that annoying. I've always found it annoying ever since I've had the camera. I do plug it into a power block to power the camera. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It's going to be far more reliable using the USB-C port on the ZV-1 Mark II. The ZV-1 Mark II also has animal and human detect, where the original ZV-1 doesn't. That's the same as on the RX100 Mark 7. That also has animal detect and human detect. But I'm finding at the moment the autofocus is a bit more accurate with the ZV-1 Mark II than it is on the RX100 Mark 7. We have to understand the RX100 Mark 7 is a 5-year-old camera now, so this is a much newer camera. It's about a year old, probably less than a year old. Very compact in size. It's got various automatic microphone features, many other features I'll go through when I review the video, review this camera, but I haven't had it long enough to do the review. I'm just pointing out one of the 3 or 4 reasons why I purchased it. So, as I say, 24p in video, human and animal face detect, USB-C charging port, and it has the 18mm lens on it for wide angles. So they're the main reasons why I purchased this lens. I mean, there is no viewfinder, unlike the RX100 Mark 7. That has a really nice little pop-up viewfinder. You can see here, that's got a really nice little pop-up viewfinder on there. But the ZV-1 Mark II doesn't, which is the same as the original ZV-1. It's got product showcase mode I use all the time. I've got that set on now. So obviously the camera will be focusing on my little RX100 Mark 7. As I say, in image quality, 20 megapixel 1-inch sensor, really, really nice sensor. And the images are coming out lovely. I'm really enjoying the quality of the images. The very short time I've had it, these images are looking really nice. Colors are good, sharpness is good. It is a 1-inch sensor, so you're not going to get your bokeh, but that's great for me when I'm going out and about, because I just want to be able to get good sharp images. I'm not worried about bokeh, so I'm not doing portraits with it. Yeah, I think it's not really sold as a photographic tool, but there's no, look at that, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, very wood print, lovely. But there's no reason why you can't use it for photography as you can for video. I say it is sold primarily as a video camera, but I think I'm going to be using it for photography and for video. I've pre-assigned this button on the top here, which is your defocus button. That creates your background blur button. All that does is sets the lens to its widest aperture. So I can do that manually. But I've set that to a mode dial. So when I'm in photography, click on that, and then I can set whether I want aperture priority, shutter priority, manual, or whatever. I have found you can set up your photo settings different to your video settings. So this button will do different things whether you're in photography or whether you're in video. You can set that up to be that way. For example, this button at the bottom here, I've got set to brightness control, so I can adjust the brightness. I can set it to sunny or normal if I'm taking photographs, where in video I've got that set to set my audio levels, my microphone audio levels. So yeah, really, really nice compact little camera. The other thing that I do like, which is a real pain with the ZV-1, is they moved the tripod mount. So it's moved it further away from the battery door. So I find that it is honestly a real pain. I mean, that's a great feature. I can leave it on my tripod and still get the SD card out, because obviously I'm taking the SD cards out to load onto the computer. So I can now leave this on the tripod without worrying about having to take not only just take it off the tripod, but take the plate off the camera to get to the battery compartment. So Sony have really thought about that, and I think that's really great that they have done. So yeah, it's quite a thoughtful little camera. They've done quite a bit to this camera, and saying the image quality looks really, really nice. Colors are nice, sharpness is good. The animal detect works great. That's why I deliberately took some photographs of one of my little cats, little Molly. That leaf looks really sharp, and it goes into macro without having to fumble around with any switches or anything of that nature. You don't have to switch it to macro. It'll automatically go into macro. So yeah, very thought out camera, quite a nice grip. Not the best, but it does the job. It's okay. It's got your multi-interface shoe on the top there for using Sony microphones without the need of cables. That I should be playing with, checking that out. Yeah, great little camera. I say there will be a further video on this camera once I've had more chance to play with it. So there we go. That's just a quick look at the Sony ZV-1 Mark II and why I purchased it. I'm not a vlogger, so I haven't purchased it because of its wide angle lens, but having the 18mm wide angle lens I think is fantastic. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the like button if you like the content of my videos. Would really appreciate that. Does help me grow the channel. Thanks very much. Cheers for now. Bye.